Hi, it's Gloria with Cheap Yummy Shiny, and for Scrumptious Sundays today I'm going to show you how to make a traditional Mexican salsa. It's a salsa ranchera, which is basically a ranch style sauce. There are two ways to do this. As far as you can make it ranchera, and I'll show you towards the end what will make the difference, or you can just make it a plain salsa. It's not a big difference. It's just cooking versus not cooking, and really that's it. As far as recipe, there really isn't a recipe. These aren't recipes. These are just things that you have around the house. You always have it available in a Mexican household. There are other cultures, obviously, that also have that sort of sauce culture that you just always have something there. You don't have a recipe. You just put together what you want, and it's delicious. I'm going to take you into my stove and show you how I salsa up. I'm using what's called a comal, which is basically a hot plate. Mine is made out of cast iron. They have different materials. They'll have steel and things. If you don't have a comal, not a big deal. You can even do it like on a pan. If you have a cast iron pan, that'll work really well. You can also do it on a regular stainless steel pan, although you have to worry a little bit about marking it, and then of course you have to try to clean it up a little bit. It is much easier to do it on a cast iron than anything else. If you don't want to do it stovetop, you're not comfortable, and you have and you don't mind turning on your oven, or you have a smaller convection oven like I do on my countertop to avoid turning on the big guy in the summer. You can do it on broil, and you'll just have to turn it every so often. Something like a plum tomato is best. Make sure they're nice and ripe. And you just put them on whatever you're going to roast them. Today I'm going to do 5 Roma tomatoes. They're nice and ripe. I have a couple of jalapenos. They're ginormous. They're spicy, but they're not super spicy. I happen to like my salsa quite spicy. So I'm going to put them on these 2. So you might not want to do it that spicy if you are sensitive to spicy foods. Maybe use a half a jalapeno, whatever works for you. Now you don't have to roast the onion, but I like roasting the onion. Now this is a very large piece of onion, so I'm going to use a little less. I'm just going to tear off like this much, and you don't have to roast the onion like I said, but I like it roasted. So what you do is you just turn them around because you want them nice and toasty on all sides. Obviously the whole thing doesn't have to be completely roasted. If you're roasting peppers, a quick word of caution. Depending on the pepper, it might make the air a bit spicy, so just keep that in mind. So you just keep turning these around. Like I said, get all sides. Now that everything is nicely roasted, you'll see that the peppers are slightly roasted. They've changed color a little bit, and the skins are splitting a bit on the tomatoes. And just so you know, I ended up putting the extra piece of onion in there that I decided was too much after taking a second look. So the best way to do this is either put it in a blender, or you can put it in a food processor like I'm doing right here. Along with the peppers, the onion, and the tomatoes, I'm going to use a few stems of cilantro. These are washed. Put as much as you like. I'm putting like 11, 12 maybe, pulling off anything that looks wilted. And just be careful when especially because it's warm or hot. As soon as you open this up, it'll release a bunch of pepper fumes. Just giving you a warning, I've coughed quite a lot after peppering myself out. Just do this carefully. You don't want it completely, totally liquefied. A nice chunky salsa is good. Alright, so it looks as if the salsa is nice and done. So you'll notice it is a little bit chunky, which is perfect. Now you want to cook it a little bit. This part is optional, but it is nice. This is called the Salsa Ranchera ranch style sauce. Put a little bit of oil into a pan. This is already preheated. Let's see, let me grab a spatula here. There we go. While it's in here, we want to salt it. I'm using ground pepper, sea salt. You obviously can use table salt. That's perfectly fine. That just happens to be what I have in my kitchen. So the salsa has been simmering on low for a few minutes. I'm not trying to super cook it. You just really want it to just change colors. You know, just when you cook tomatoes and it just changes color that little bit, that's all you want it to do. So turn it off. Put into whatever bowl you would like to put it into. So you have a traditional Mexican salsa ranchera. If you were to not cook it after roasting and grinding it up and just salted it to taste, then it wouldn't be a salsa ranchera. It would just be a nice plain Mexican salsa. So this is actually quite spicy. Delicious. This would be good with just chips, tacos, enchiladas. Well, maybe not enchiladas, but put it on your burrito, put it on your beans and rice, put it on whatever you like. This is a nice, delicious, traditional, simple, basic salsa. Easy to make. I hope that you guys try it and join me again on Scrumptious Sundays and see if you can learn how to make something new. Thank you so much. Don't forget, follow me on Instagram, follow me on WordPress, Cheap Yummy Shiny. You can find me on Twitter, and you can find me on Facebook as well. Until next week, bye!